Hello, welcome back to the channel and welcome to my first ever tag. So I was tagged by Simon, a bloke in the woods, who, if you haven't seen his channel, and I'm sure you probably all have, go on over and have a look at it. It's absolutely brilliant and he's a really nice bloke. He's also a customer of mine and he's tagged me to come up with 3 luxury items that I use when I'm out bushcrafting. So any of you that know me or who have met me will probably realise that I've actually spent an awful lot of years condensing the amount of gear that I actually carry, so that I'm only carrying what I need to get the job done or what I need for safety. And I did that by a process of elimination. Like a lot of people, I would go out, have my weekend or my few days away, and when I came back I'd unpack my gear, and anything that I didn't use I wouldn't bother packing again. And so over a period of about 35 years the amount I carry has got less and less, and it's sort of become distilled to a few core items, and in there actually isn't a whole lot of room for luxury items. Also, a lot of the time when I'm out I'm teaching. I've got other people I'm looking after, and pretty much from the moment I get up until the moment I get into my sleeping bag at the end of the day, I'm busy, I'm occupied, and so I don't have a lot of time for luxury items. So this was actually a really hard challenge, thinking about which 3 items I do carry that I would consider luxury items. So my first item that I consider to be a luxury item, well, it's not my tea, but it is something that I use a lot. And that's this, my sleeping bag. It's a Corinthia Defence 4 sleeping bag. And this is probably the best sleeping bag I think I've ever owned. It's probably overkill for an awful lot of what I do. I think this will take you down to about -15. It's got a centre zip. It's got a sort of all-weather construction, so there's no seams on the outside, and there's no quilting on the outside, and the outer fabric's quite weatherproof. A lot of people would think it's a bit warm and it's a bit heavy, but actually I put a high price on a good night's sleep, and yeah, well, this is probably a bit heavy to carry, certainly heavier than my little down bag, or I've got one of the jungle bags from the MSS system. But this tends to be what I go for most of the year, unless it's really, really hot, in which case I might go for just a poncho liner, or I might go for the jungle bag, but it has to be pretty hot. Otherwise, for everything else, I go for this. Yes, it's a bit heavier to carry, but actually I don't mind carrying that bit extra weight if I've got the luxury of a really good night's sleep. So my next luxury item, well, my next luxury item is something that I only ever carry when I'm out in the woods on my own. So not when I'm working, it's if I'm perhaps out in the woods with a few friends socialising, or if I'm just out on my own, chilling out, kicking back, round the campfire in the evening. It was a gift from my best friend on the occasion of his wedding when I was the best man. And that item is this. It's a Hardy Amos 8-ounce hip flask. I put various beverages in it, perhaps some of the slow gin that I've made, or a blackberry brandy, or if it's around Christmas, a Christmas pudding vodka. And I'll sit round the fire in the evening and I'll have a few sips of this, and it brings back some lovely memories, and I quite often toast friends, some who are here, some who aren't here, and yeah, it's something that if I'm out and it's me time, this is always in my rucksack. So the last of my 3 luxury items, well, it's this. Some of you might recognise it. It's my little tool roll. In here there's a variety of little tools, but they all centre around carving, be able to create things out of wood. So yeah, it's a roll full of tools, but they're not tools I actually need. The tools I actually need tend to be my pocket knife, my folding saw, maybe my little hatchet. And they take care of my main needs, my gathering firewood, my prepping my food. But for other things, like perhaps crafting a spoon, and this spoon, well, this spoon, I harvested the wood and made this spoon on a military training area with my best friend that gave me the hip flask a long time ago. So carrying this little roll of tools allows me to create things that, well, give me lots and lots of lasting memories. So there you go. Those are my 3 luxury bushcraft items. The bits and pieces that I take out in the field that I consider to be luxury items. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Hang on a minute. He's had a change of clothes. And you are right. In fact, I've had a change of days because this bit is a little reshoot. I have to nominate 3 other YouTubers to also tell us what their 3 luxury items are. And I emailed a couple of guys about it and got on and filmed it, and then I got an email back from one of the guys saying that he would rather not. So I'm reshooting this bit. I'm still going to nominate 3 guys, and the first one is really big monkey, David Pearson. He always comes across as a really nice guy. He's a bit quirky, and I think his choices would be really, really interesting. The other 2 YouTubers are both guys that I know and I've known for a long time, in fact since before the days of YouTube, and they're both very talented bushcrafters, both very knowledgeable blokes, and both really nice blokes as well. And the first one is Scott, the Welsh Woodsman. So if you go on, type in the Welsh Woodsman, you'll see his channel. Scott, I want you to come up with your 3 luxury bushcraft items. While you're thinking about it, ask your mate Rob Evans Outdoorsman, if he could come up with his 3 as well. Both of the guys, as I said, I've known for a long time. They're both top blokes, very knowledgeable blokes, and again, I think their choices of bushcraft luxury items would be really, really interesting. So there you go. Those are my 3 luxury items. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then as always, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Also, hit that notifications bell as well, so that you find out whenever I put a new video out. You can follow what I'm doing over on Instagram. I'm greencraft_01, and I tend to put up pictures quite regularly so you can see what I'm up to. You can also help support the channel by going over and visiting my Etsy shop. It's called Greencraft Shop, and over there you'll find a selection of bits and pieces that I make up when I'm out in the woods. I think I've just put up a couple more wood wizards, or a wood wizard and a wood viking, and a new little birch bark match container. But pop over and have a look. You'll also find over there my woven Greencraft patches. Get yourself one. A lot of people do, and they sew them on their smocks and on their rucksacks. And as I said, that way they're showing the support for the channel. If you just want to get in touch, perhaps you've got a question or something, well, either put it in the comments bar below, or you can always email me. My email address is neil, N-E-I-L, at greencraft.me.uk. Well, that's about it from me. I've been Neil, and until next time, stay safe.